on the road for the Seawolves.
All clear.
Outstanding defensively in the first.
Look, I don't want to talk.
This is a textbook drive from the line out. The Arrows looking to do anything. They're over the line. First try. There's numbers here for the Free Jacks. They're inside the 22. The offload wants to go over the top. What's it forward? No, says the referee. He's giving the try. Keep this ball alive. 2-on-1 on the short side. It's inside where it goes. The bonus point is secured for the New England Free Jacks. He's got one under his belt. They're still moving. Now they're arriving. Clutching's over the line. His second try. And it is Olsen. He does his job. Beautiful offload from the youngster. And he provides the 8th try of the half for the New England pass. He's going to get one for himself. Waiting against the Lesage, who pushes it flat. May have gone forward, but again, another try scoring pass from the young Canadian. It's Olsen to hit his. Oh, a massive hole midfield. And Quattro has just stepped in it. Beautiful work today. It's still paying off. They got options. They got numbers. The Arrows are stretched. A stumble. He keeps it. And he gets his second try.
If Chicago scores here, it knocks Utah out of the playoffs. If Utah gets the stop, they have one more week of possibility for the playoffs. Dominguez on the edge. Dominguez spinning, and he'll score! And that's going to knock Utah out.
And a chance to head upfield and gain some territory. Some phases, some speed. Andrew Cohino's got the wheels. So does Hardacre. Brooklyn Hardacre.
And a good afternoon to you, rugby fans. Welcome to Leesburg, Virginia. We are at SACRA Field. This is an MLR, Major League Rugby Academy match between Young Glory, the Academy of Old Glory Rugby from the DC area, Rugby ATL Academy of the Atlanta area. I am John Brooker. I have a contact coach, Craig Wilson, going to be bringing this game to us. This is an MLR Academy match. We'll talk about a lot of the Academy things that are going on around the league right now. But Craig, this should be a great one.
Yeah, excellent. Really happy to be here. It's going to be a really exciting game. You've got two young teams who are really ready to go for it. They're going to enjoy their opportunity. They're going to look for development opportunities, and all exciting as the Major League Rugby builds.
This is a match between these two great teams, their academy systems. And we are going to have next week, we're going to be coming from Quincy, Massachusetts. We're going to be the Junior Jacks, the Ironworkers, Miami, Utah, Houston. Great academy matches coming up through it. May have a 10-game series next year. You're looking at Young Glory in red is going to kick this one off for Rugby ATL. We're wearing green, running from left to right on your screen. Ryan Caldwell, the referee, ready to get us going underway. And Kieran Downs does the honors. Kieran Downs puts one up, goes directly. Well, it doesn't go directly. Bounces in a touch there. Referee Caldwell going over, assisted by Alex Schaefer and Craig Rollings. Just a little bounce out to get us started there. Ball doesn't touch the ground.
Yeah, so there's a line out. Good opportunity here for ATL to work on their set piece and organize their exits. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work it here. They will be planning for this for a long time.
First line out coming here from ATL. Colby Marr to put this one in. It gets that one up high in the hands of Max Horn. Ball back, not engaged at the maul there. Little cut back in from a forward pod for this Rugby ATL team as they work their way over the 22-meter line. See what they decide to go. A number of players in that contact area. Another pod set up. Run this one through some of the big boys. big boys heading their way through. Meyer to the 22, a little misstep on the pass there. Ball hits the ground. Player trying to come around the outside. Tackled, possibly isolated. Good work from that Rugby ATL offense to get in there and set that one up. Rugby ATL continues to go through the phases here, Craig, but not really gaining any ground.
Yeah, but still the defense from Young Glory is really matching up here, and they're pushing ATL back. So a lot of effort in attack for not a lot of yards. So it'll be interesting to see when they decide to go to the boot.
Are heading out to these forward pods, looking to get a little bit of width there, but not quite find what they want. Picked off by Young Glory. Great work by Andrew Ringel. Hooker for this Young Glory team. Ball at the back, picked up quickly by Jules Peters. Looking to get it to the wing, having to come back in. Lots of good programs in this greater Washington, D.C. area that feed this Young Glory team. Ball out into the hands of Downs. Downs chips one through. It's looking towards the try line. Rolls out just at the end. Gonna have to see whether it rolled out in or out of touch or out of the try zone.
That was an excellent start from Young Glory there. Brilliant defense. They kept pushing them backwards. And then when they got the ball, I love how they're mixing the play up. They just find an edge. You can see no one in the backfield there. So the boot is a great option. And a kick is only as good as its chase. And it was an excellent chase. And it just bundled into touch. And that's put Atlanta under a lot of pressure.
Going to be a scrum here right at the 5-meter line. It's going to be put in for Young Glory. You see Diego Gonzalez there wearing the number 9 to put this one in. Great attacking position here. Runners across the field. Little communication between Gonzalez and Downs. See what they're going to do. Donovan Davis in the back. That one goes down. First scrum of the day is going to hit the deck. Referee asking assistant referee Schaefer to make sure everything on that side is good.
Yeah, well, first scrum of the day. The teams are feeling each other out, so no wonder the referee went to a reset there. Both teams will be looking to get the ascendancy on so they can, particularly from Young Glory, so they can really launch their attack. What an excellent attacking opportunity here.
Gonzalez puts that one in, ball to the back, a little tough to get out of there. ATL putting some pressure on. Then they hand it Downs. Downs gets into the center there to Lewis, to Rick Lewis. Gets the ball just back to that 5-meter line, but they're setting an attacking platform here. You see the hand up from Brendan Martin. He's looking for it, but Donovan Davis puts in a little pass, doesn't go to hand. So messy ball right there for Tyler Frayne to hang on to. And going to the outside is Taylor Downer. Downer getting hauled towards the touchline. Can he stay in? Has done. Rugby ATL seems to have ripped that one away on the ground, but referee Caldwell says, nope, that was a penalty. We're going to come back here for Young Glory.
Yeah, unfortunately for Young Glory, it just a bit of a miss pass there. The ball went to the deck and Atlanta managed to get onto it. But you can see the early signs from Young Glory. They really want to play an expansive game plan. They're trying to move the ball. They're varying between kicks, passes, and pop passes. And this has put an ATL under a lot of pressure. And so far, the game has been all down in ATL's try line with Young Glory with a line out here.
Andrew Ringel's had a couple of carries so far to put this one in for Young Glory. Good position. See if they look to the driving ball or have something else in mind. To the middle of the line out they go. Ball well taken and straight, no problem. Hits the deck very quickly. Referee says that's okay. It's been taken away by Rugby ATL. The Rugby ATL Academy boys get themselves out of a bit of danger here. Just about 4.5 minutes gone in this first half. We do 35-minute halves here today. Ripped away by Young Glory. Great work there. We'll try to get the number on that player who took that one away. Phenomenal job. Coming over, getting the ball to Donovan Davis. Donovan Davis had a little tip pass available there, but decides to take it himself. Good pressure coming on. No sign of a scrum half at the moment. Players coming over, trying to get the hands on that ball, but a penalty comes quick, taken immediately by Downs. Downs look to a runner. They've got the ball. It's going to be held up. The referee says it is. Referee Caldwell, ball held up. Back to the goal line dropout.
Well, it's been all Young Glory right now. And you see for a quick tap penalty, he probably could have scored himself there, but it was a good wrap-up tackle to hold him up, and that means it's going to be a dropout. But you can see now from DC, they've managed to rip ATL twice in the tackle, and that's really great defensive work there, and that's allowing them to keep applying this pressure.
Young Glory number 2 is going to do well to move himself back a little bit. You have to be 5 meters back on these goal line drops. It's not a 22. Has done. ATL just taking their time here. Caldwell checking his watch. Dylan Forbes Roberts, left footer, gets this one about 40 meters out, takes a good bounce, down to the hands of Diego Gonzalez. Gonzalez puts a little reverse pass in. Ball in hand there, good run. Jackson Scare gets a hold of it. Big man wearing the number 3, good pressure coming in. Gonzalez not to be found at that one as well. Now Gonzalez in the right place, gets the ball to Downs. Downs goes to a little chip kick, goes back to the left-hand side, but it's taken by Rugby ATL, thrown over the top. Whistle, however. Come back and see what the referee's call is. It's an offside against Rugby ATL. Craig, this entire first 6.5 minutes right in this area of the field.
The ATO just cannot catch a break right now. It's mistakes from being ripped, and also just different types of penalties being given away, and that's what pressure does. Fair play to Young Glory. They're really starting to apply the pressure here, and I've liked Downs so far at number 10. I just love his kicking game, how he's just varying the attack, and that's just allowing pressure to mount. Now it's all about just doing the simple things well for the Young Glory point of view and winning this line out.
A lot of defense to be done by this Rugby ATL Academy team early in this game. Ringo getting ready for his throw. Went to the middle of the lineup last time. This time they're going to go to Donovan Davis. Davis got a hold of it, but not straight. Rugby ATL will have an opportunity here for a scrum or a line out. And they will take the line out, interestingly. ATL goes to the middle of the line out, well taken, brought down. Don't set that one up, so we have to move there, running from their own 5-meter line. Good bit of endeavor here. Get the ball to the captain, Jacob Seiler. Go to Cram, the scrum half. Puts in a box kick, gets it just down to midfield. Well taken by this Young Glory team. They've got runners off the left-hand side there. There's Gonzalez, who's spent a lot of time in that backfield on these kicks. Hands out off to Hampton Brannon. Brannon into contact. Downs has a step in on that distributor roll again. Playing a little interchangeably with Gonzalez. Donovan Davis takes that win in a pile. Referee is going to whistle. Seems like he's going to want to have a word with someone.
Yeah, that's the third penalty now. It just looked like the ATL forwards were lying over the ball now, not allowing a quick ball. But one thing I've noticed already in this game is how many players Young Glory are having to commit to the ruck. It's 3 or 4 players plus the ball carrier. So that's going to really start to affect their attack as we listen in here. So the referee just sending ATL back, saying let's have a real quick game. That's no slowing the ball down at the ruck. But yeah, DC are really putting a lot of players in the ruck, and that's going to affect their attack. So I'm interested to see how this is going on. But also they've got to get these basics right. The set piece hasn't been going great for them so far. They're going to get another opportunity.
Kick goes just inside, but let's take a look. Line out coming.
And there's a big hit, and it's interesting to see, did he get the ball away in time? Is it a late hit or not? Nah, looks like he's committed, but there wasn't a lot of arms in there. The referee might want to take a look back at that one.
Ringle gets that one up. That was straight. Last one was not, so he's corrected himself. He'll be happy. Little wraparound play coming. They cannot get the ball up to Peters there. Peters knocks the ball down, quickly taken by Rugby ATL. They're at the 40-meter line. They're at the halfway here. Big push there from the number 13, Nick Morgan, to get nearly to the 40-meter line of Young Glory. No points on the board for either team yet, 9.5 minutes. First visit into the Young Glory half results in a quick knock-on, so it's going to be Young Glory scrum.
Well, let's look at the good signs first. Number 13, Nick Morgan. That was a powerhouse run down the midfield. He was working hard. Unfortunately, a little bit of a skill set error here when there was a big opportunity to potentially attack out wide because there was a lot of Young Glory defenders tight to that midfield. But Nick Morgan is giving his team a bit of territory, although they don't have the ball here. But that early scrum, it looked like ATL had the advantage. So I'm interested to see how this scrum's going to play out.
Referee Caldwell is going to bring that up. Player's hand just hit the ground. Want to make sure they're safe in here. There's a little chat with Alofi Sake.
Just looking at the two scrums here, it looks like the ATL front row of Troutman, Marr, and Ashby, they're big boys. So they're going to be putting a lot of pressure on. The size difference just from them angles there, you can really tell. So that might have something to play here.
Ball at Davis's feet. Gonzalez moves it off. They go to the right-hand side. So the boot again goes down. It's really keeping this ATL team pressed back in their own half. They're looking for a little bit of a return here. Rugby ATL referee says that's fine. You can run. Evan Kramus will take that one in. They're going to need someone to distribute this ball. Just squirts out the back. Taking it on there is Noah Kelly. Noah Kelly at his own 40-meter line as they send a big forward pot in there. Tackle looked just a touch high. The referee says it's okay. Let's play. The next big unit from this Rugby ATL team, as you pointed out there, that's Troutman. A big front row, putting some pressure on in there, trying to get those runs in the midfield. A little slip. Work back the other way. Not looking for those tip passes, just using the power game at the moment is Rugby ATL as they come off to this right-hand side. Good pressure again from that Young Glory defense there. That's Tuivailala, the outside center. In that one, ball comes back there to Forbes Roberts. Dylan Forbes Roberts puts one downfield. It is deep inside the 22, rolling. It's going to roll all the way out. What a kick, but it's going to come all the way back, Craig.
Yeah, really unfortunate there that just kept rolling on that hard service, and it means he's going to have to come all the way back to the scrum from where he kicked it, and that's a long way back. But it looks like ATL now, they're really trying to turn on that power game, as you said, John, but this is very tiring, and the DC Young Glory are just lining up. They're getting a lot of double tackles, and there's so many opportunities for them to rip the ball. So if ATL are going to continue with this tight game, they're going to have to be a bit more accurate in their carrying, a bit more powerful, and critically, they've got to start protecting the ball.
Ball has been bouncing around a little bit. That does come all the way back. It's a little bit like, tough playing in a field you've never played in before for the fly half there, Forbes Roberts. Where he plays might be grass or just not used to kind of putting that kind of distance on a ball. It's nearly perfect, but rolls out the back.
Yeah, there's home advantage for a reason. You just learn the field, learn the environment. Yeah, a bit unfortunate there.
Gonzalez moves that one by downs, gets it to Lewis, gets it to Tuivailala. Tuivailala well handled by this Rugby ATL defense. Ball comes up into the hands of Davis. He's carried quite a bit so far in this game. The referee says he hasn't released, however. It's going to be a penalty here for Rugby ATL. Better work from the men from Atlanta.
Yeah, Colby Marr, awesome technique on the jackal there. He just waited. You could see there the Young Glory player didn't quite catch the number, how he got isolated, but he just made sure he was in position for that really strong jackal. Beautiful positioning, and also he withstood the attackers clearing out the ball, and that's allowed his team to win the ball back. Excellent play there.
Nice swirling kick there, eventually makes touch. Not too much of a breeze here in Leesburg today. 81 degrees at the moment, so not too hot.
Yeah, these are big moments for ATL. They've got themselves back into the game. They've got themselves a bit of field position. The line-out's been going well. Let's see if they can launch an attack and just spend a few minutes down in the Young Glory half.
Intent on a Young Glory player there. Would love to get up and disrupt this. They're going to go to the middle of the line out. It's going to go over no problem. Now they release it to the back line there. A little pass out the back. But from Troutman, trying to run out in that midfield as they put Santana Rivera in the line. Ball coming back. Cram gets it up to one of the waiting forwards. No problem wanting to run that. There goes Seiler. The captain takes it in. Good counter ruck coming in from this Young Glory team. They are going to barrel right over that one somehow at the moment. Still held on to by this Rugby ATL side. Eventually you've got to whistle that.
Well, that seemed unfortunate there. That was excellent defense from DC. And as we mentioned earlier, it's all about how ATL are carrying the ball in now. The ball is very exposed. And you can see particularly there, number Jackson Scare from number 3 from Young Glory. He's really going to try and rip that ball. So they're going to have to tighten up a little bit there if they want to get their game plan firing. Just as we'd...
Out in the midfield again. Replay there. I thought they looked down, thought the game was restarting. My apologies. Ball to Cram. Now they're going to come here, going to get started yet again Off to that left-hand side, pushing it away is Soma Hall. Soma Hall, he's going to make some ground. Powerful young runner, not released there. Sorry, he was released there, so he was able to get up and run. Didn't know if he was held in that tackle or not, but they're going to come around again from Cram. Cram gets the ball to Marr. Colby Marr is looking at the line. Colby Marr would love to get over. The percentage of time spent in this end of the field has been minimal for this Rugby ATL team, but they're putting pressure on now. Another loose ball, however. Comes back into the hands of Seiler, the captain, looking at the line. And they get the pick and go game coming here from both these teams. They've got some big units to put up there. That's Troutman. Troutman working his way towards the line. Good tackle there by Camark, the co-captain for Young Glory. He has to roll away eventually. They're looking right in front of the post there, see where they decide to go. Referee has arm out for advantage, so we have free play here. Cram moves that one, gets it in the hands of Forbes Roberts. Forbes Roberts puts it out wide. It's not going to go on hand. We'll come back to that penalty.
Yeah, so the ATL got their game plan fire in there. You can see the big, strong runners, and it was all about winning that initial collision, and that's what they haven't been doing so far. They won the initial collision, and they got behind the gain line. What that means from the defense, from the DC point of view, they've got to work harder to get onside, and then that strong forward power game can really get running. That was a great example there. And to be fair, ATL have not really showed a lot of interest of moving the ball wide, so expect a lot of plays to be coming down the midfield, and a lot of players off 9, probably a tap and go here as well.
Colby Marr looks pretty intent on heading towards the line. Colby Marr's over the line. First points of the game after a serious period of defense for Rugby ATL. It goes to the boys from Atlanta, 5-0, 16 and a half, 17 minutes gone.
Yeah, Colby Marr, just a pure power athlete. You can see on the images here, he's a big, strong guy, big, strong legs, and he was just like, right, I'm going to tap and go. And tactically well, he went towards the post. Really interesting. It just makes it makes it a little bit more awkward for the defenders when someone targets the post and he really powers through. You can see here, there was no second defender can get in there because of the post. So not only did he have the power, he had the tactics in his mind and the skill set to power over there. Really great play from Colby Marr, and you can see, John, it's definitely a clash of styles in attack between ATL and Young Glory, and that's the beauty of rugby.
Yeah, Kieran down, just pulling the strings a little more for the Young Glory side with a mix of kicks and passes and run and move. But yeah, Rugby ATL certainly bringing the power to this game. So we take a look at Dylan Forbes Roberts. Forbes Roberts, the left footer, set to kick this one. Pretty straightforward. The referee's flags are up. We're at 7-0 Rugby ATL against the home team, Young Glory.
As we look back at it again, see how he targets the post. There was no way the tackler assist could get there, and the power play went over. Really impressive. Just great awareness there from Colby Marr. And to be fair, it was against the run of play from ATL, but they've stuck to their game plan, and they've managed to get the rewards, and they're 7-0 up.
Young Glory set to kick off. Kieran Downs, one of the co-captains here with Camark. Hoofs that one down, gets it inside the 22, finds some height. This one does not go to the ground as the last one did. But no, Kelly, the wing, takes that and inside their 22 again, getting that counter-rucking one more time from Young Glory. Young Glory rips someone out of their hands, but referee Caldwell says not legally. We'll bring that one back.
Yeah, it looks like he just came in from an offside position there. Maybe the ball wasn't out, but you can just see the pressure that Young Glory is putting on every single ruck. And that's tiring from an ATL point of view, because they're going to have to start getting numbers in there, and they're going to have to be really good at their skill sets of just making sure that ball is available, but also the carrier working on the floor so that ball's nice and clean. So great contest so far at the breakdown.
Forbes Roberts hoofs that one downfield, and it does find a good touch there, so it'll be their line out. Yeah, the rucks have been just a bit slow in my estimation, Craig. When you get to this level, you really want that ball to be moving away quick and have your attacking units ready to go there. And just both sides, Rugby ATL particularly is allowing Young Glory to get in there and disrupt things, slow things down. They really want to speed the game up a little bit.
Yeah, rugby's all about momentum, and once you've got momentum, you really want to keep it. You want to, from an attacking point of view, you just want to keep that gain line going backwards and backwards, and that often means quick ruck, quick ball, quick passing. So that's what you're starting to see here. It's getting a little bit slower, but as fatigue sets in, I believe we're going to start seeing more holes.
Colby Marr, the try scorer, puts that one in. good to go out into the midfield. A little bit of a looping pass back, but gonna make up some ground here is Seiler. Seiler actually taken down by the second or third Young Glory player that comes in here. They've been waiting forward pod. Ball goes into that one hand, not looking for any tip passes to move that one on. Ripped away by Old Glory. Good work there. A tremendous play by Ringel. He's been very good for this Young Glory team. Trying to return the favor now, our ATL. That one's going to come out with Downs again in that distributor role, getting now to Gonzalez, who's in the first receiver role. Ball bounces inside the 22 and in a touch. Under pressure in their own end again, our Rugby ATL.
Yeah, wonderful rugby, really great skill set there from that turnover. So you got Andrew Ringel, number 2. He was all over that ball, great skill set on the jackal. And then they realized because it's a turnover, ATL were all in attack, so they had no one back there defensively. And that's when Downs just put the ball back, and now he's just won a bit of field position. It looks like he's...
It's their ball, it's a 50-22.
So fair play there. So the great kicking game so far. And you can see Ben Seamer, a very accomplished athlete, rugby athlete, USA Eagle, Seattle player too. He's their coach. So you can probably see why there's a kicking game from DC.
Great hands there by Hampton Brandon. They bring that one down into the hands of Downs again. He wraps around. They're in the midfield looking for a runner. Get that ball back to Downer. Downer moves it to Tuivailala. Tuivailala shows the ball and takes it in. He's certainly a powerful runner there. The outside wasn't open, but there it is. Diego Gonzalez spots that wide open left-hand side. And 5 points. They can tie this one up. Young Glory answers in style.
Yeah, this is their game plan. So we talked about the power from ATL. It's all about ball movement here from Young Glory. It came from a line out, and they ran a little blocker play, which was really nice. They had the second row, number 4, Peters, running a hard line. They pulled the ball out the back, and they've got, maybe see, you're going to see it back here. They pulled the ball out the back, and that creates that overlap. And it's actually a double blocker there, which is absolutely brilliant. And then they create the opportunity, and they don't panic. What I love about Gonzalez, as he's entering this ruck, just look how he's scanning to see where the defense is. He notes that they're not on that blind side, and that was just an excellent play there. I think number 2, Ringel, it was 11.
Some of those players there.
From Frayne. He removed the rucker there, which created that space from Gonzalez. So a nice little bit of detail there. Wonderful try. And we've got a game on our hands here, John.
We certainly do. Later on today will be the senior teams for both of these. Old Glory versus Rugby ATL. And Gonzalez pushes that one wide, so we're going to remain at 7-5 here. The Young Glory trailing as we take another look.
Yes, let's just watch here, number 11, Tyler Frayne. Just as we enters this ruck, you can see he's in and around there. It's nice and good pictures here. Just look how he removes that defender there. He's just taking him out. He keeps him in. There it is. There's the hole from Gonzalez. So that's cheeky little play there from the winger. And then number 9 makes the most of it and finds that space. Lovely detail. Good work.
Referee Caldwell lost his coin, so he's got that one back. So we're going to go to another kickoff here from Rugby ATL Academy. Up by 2 points here, just under 24 minutes gone in this ECS Shield game. Forbes Roberts hangs one just over the 10-meter line. Tuivailala gets free quickly. Tuivailala hands off one. Tuivailala eventually gets tackled, brought down. Good quick ball coming here from this Young Glory team. Having to get the ball up there to Peters. A little messy ball after that. Good scrappy play by Rugby ATL. Get that ball back. Ball just kind of squirting all over the place there. Referee Caldwell wants to play. That one seemed like it was spilled forward. We're going to play on nonetheless. Now the whistle comes. Knock on from Young Glory. Going to have a scrum here, but you saw the potential of Tuivailala if he can get free.
Yeah, wonderful line break there. First of all, he caught the ball high in the air, and then he just took off, and he worked really hard. And then eventually ATL got themselves back into a position to win the ball back with good aggressive defense, and then it was just a couple of knock-ons in that sequence. So the referee's just going to reset it, and then we go again with an ATL restart.
ATL just outside their own 40-meter line. We'll put this ball into the scrum. Cram set to put this one in. Ball at Seiler's feet. Off they go to the hands of Forbes. Roberts gets that ball. Pardon me, that was Hall that takes it. Center making a big crashing run there before they're going to move it out a little further. Going to keep it into the tight forward pod. Good work at the breakdown again by Young Glory. Just disrupting this ball very quickly. Troutman, sorry, it's a change there. Tyler Redmond's come into the game wearing number 17 in the American flag scrum cap. Got a hand in there illegally from Young Glory.
Once again, it was that power play. You can just see from the ATL Academy, they're really just looking to try and take it right up the middle. They're not moving that ball far. They're just trying to get these power athletes going. But once again, DC are getting a great effort at the breakdown. And it all starts, if we keep watching as this game plays, DC are trying to tackle, and they're essentially trying to tackle the ball. Every time they're trying to rip that ball away. So that was just really good. Keep watching out for that.
Kick does not make touch, but bounces favorably here for Rugby ATL. Eventually in the hands of Young Glory. They're inside their 22. Penalty against Young Glory is going to work out in the favor of the ATL Academy.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It was a bit of a miss kick there from ATL, so it certainly wasn't expecting it. And with ATL running fair play, even from a bad kick, they chased it, they got numbers around the ball, and they managed to get the player pinged for holding on. They've got a big opportunity here to keep just down in their half, keep chipping away, and get their power plays into this game. Just as we look back, yeah, it was a bouncing ball. That miss kick caused a little bit of chaos, and then really good position here. You can see he's over the ball, he's got nice spread legs. He's really withstanding two players trying to clear him out, and rightly so, wins the penalty. Great play there.
Ball to come in for Colby Marr. You see that replacement right there. Tyler Redmond at the front. Ball will come in eventually, we assure you, and it does. In the middle of the lineup they go there. Looks like Seiler comes down with it, driving forward to Rugby ATL. As Craig has mentioned several times, very powerful bunch of forwards this ATL team brings. Ball's to the back and they break away. That's Colby Marr. He's already got one. They look like a high tackle coming over. He's looking at the line, and Colby Marr touches down again. That's two for the hooker. What a day this young man is having.
Yeah, absolutely. So remember, he threw the ball in at the line out as well. He worked himself back to the back of that driving maul. Driving mauls, what they tend to do, even if they're not always going forward, what they do is suck players in, they suck defenders in. And Colby Marr just waits for his opportunity. Once those defenders are sucked in, he probably would have had advantage for that high tackle. Then he turns on the power and he gets a try. So that's 10 points for Colby Marr, and he's really, really up for it today.
Kick coming for Forbes Roberts here. He's a left footer, so this will favor him just a bit. Just inside the 22. Forbes Roberts eyes one up. And that one slices just wide, so we're going to be at 12-5 here. Converted try in it.
Yeah, just as we look back, so there he is, that man number 2, Colby Marr, threw the ball in, worked himself to the back of that maul, just waited for his opportunity because he knew 6, 7, 8, 9 yards out, he is the man to go. And he has just offered that massive go forward now. And Young Glory, don't panic. They've just got to give away 2 penalties. If they gave away 2 penalties, what lost them field position. So we've just got to make sure they get back down in the half. And from an ATL point of view, you just make sure that you get a really clean exit and then keep that score at 7 points.
Kieran Downs gets us going again. Same placement. Just hugs that touchline down there. Rugby ATL, a little wind in their sails. Getting some of those big boys moving. That's Will Ashby. Ashby gets across 22 and not held. It goes a little further. Referee says that's okay. They're going to keep playing here. They're outside the 22. What are they looking for? The left footer just hefts one downfield. Does Forbes Roberts. Trying to change a position here. Young Glory can be dangerous. We've seen some good runners from this. That little wraparound comes. Does it open up? It does not. At the midfield they go. Morgan's going to have to roll away from that one, and does. Young Glory now having Rugby ATL put some pressure on him around the ruck. All the Downs, looking for some space. Downs moves back. Waiting player there, just creeps offside. Just a little crossing penalty there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that ruck. It looks like from an ATL perspective, once they made that tackle, they weren't rolling away. And that really slowed the ball down from Young Glory. And then when they tried to play there, it was Downs. He just wasn't sure who he wanted to give that ball to. Perhaps held on to it for a little bit too long. And then it was just an obstruction call. So we talked about those penalties from a Young Glory point of view. Unfortunately, they've given one away here. And this allows ATL just to kind of take the sting out of the game, get a bit of territory, and do what they do best, their lineouts and their power play. Just as we look back on it here, see Downs, he's looking for options. He really wants to see where he can give that ball, and he gives it a little bit late, and that's just really unfortunate. There's not much you can do about that. Downer got in front of the ball, number 15. That's unfortunate, but it all came from that slow ball, just trying to find those options. So Young Glory, they really want quick balls so they can attack.
That'll be one of the halftime messages to speed it up a little bit. Referees just looking for the all-important rugby ball. There it is. Ball to the tail. It pops over off the hands, goes forward from Rugby ATL. The line out gets knocked back from Young Glory. So we're back just inside the 40-meter line. A scrum for Young Glory about 8 minutes to go on the stadium clock in this first half. Or sorry, 35-minute halves. Got myself mistaken there, so just about 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, this half has absolutely flown by. But I liked what Young Glory did there. They got number 7, Hampton Brannan, up in the front pod, because that just puts a lot of pressure on the hooker to hit their man, and that didn't happen there. So a good adjustment there from Young Glory to put a pressure on the ATL line out, and they got their reward with a knock-on. I've got a feeling they might give it an attack here, but Downs has got a good kick, so let's see what he gets up to.
Get that one to the center. They wrap Downs around behind Lewis. They're looking to go wide with this one. Taylor Downer looks to the outside, step into the inside, able to keep himself alive for his support to get there. Not too much pressure this time from ATL to break down. Good run coming through there. They're right at midfield. But player not releasing. Good work by ATL, and that's your man, Colby Marr.
Yeah, he's having some games so far. He's been involved in everything. That's the second jackal he's been involved with now, and it's all about just great technique. But critically, it's all about the anticipation. He waits for the attackers to be isolated, and then he pounces. You can see from him, he's got a really strong frame. He's a big, strong boy. So not only is he got great anticipation, it's the technique to get low, get on the ball, and withstand that. He has really dragged his team not only into the game, to absolutely dominating the game so far, particularly at the breakdown.
Assistant referee Schaefer signals there. It's going to be a ball for Rugby ATL. Late opportunity here, 1:15 on the game clock in this first half. See what they can go. I'm sure Colby Marr, you see getting the ball there, is dreaming of a hat trick at the moment.
Yeah. Well, particularly hookers, they tend to be one of the highest scoring players on the pitch, just because they tend to be at the back of the driving mauls. Oh, he'll be eyeing up a hat trick for sure. I don't know whether it'll be a hat trick of tries or a hat trick of jackals, but he's definitely got a big impact.
Great game is a young man, Colby Marr. Gets that one up, but it goes over the top, winds up in the hands of Young Glory. They're trying to move that one around. Finally in the hands of Brendan Martin. Martin takes that one in. Gonzalez puts it up. Colby Marr suffers from the commentator's curse. As soon as you compliment him, a little error creeps in, but right over the ball come Rugby ATL. They've got a hold of this one. They're at their own 50. Still an opportunity here. 15 seconds on the stadium clock. There could be some referee's time at his discretion. That one's got a little wide. One's up bouncing on the ground. Eventually kicked forward by one of the backline players for Rugby ATL, right in the hands of Downer. Moves it back there to Downs. Downs gets to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, we've seen his danger. He puts it to the toe, gets it to the 22, rolls towards touch, held in by Rugby ATL. Good work there by the fullback Santana Rivera. Rugby ATL is to pick that one up, and it's Colby Marr again. He's working his way across the 22. Colby Marr gets about 10 meters out of that one. Quick ball to come. Another pot of forwards there, just keeping that one in tight for this Rugby ATL Academy team. A long pass coming in. They've got some runners out here that decide to keep it a little tight. It's that outside center, Nick Morgan. Nick Morgan makes a little bit of ground. Young Glory players in digging over that one. Referee whistles. Penalty against Young Glory, player coming off their feet.
Yeah, ATL, they look their strongest when they're keeping the ball tight. As soon as it goes wide, they get themselves a little bit isolated, and also it takes them away from all their big power players. But it's important from a Young Glory point of view now, as this half comes to an end, it's the clash of styles. From Rugby ATL, you really want an arm wrestle. From Young Glory, you do not want an arm wrestle. So it'd be interesting to see what messages come in at halftime and how these teams come back out. But a really gripping half there. Well done to both teams.
And that is the first half done. 12-5, Atlanta leads Young Glory. We are going to step aside for 10 and a half time. We're going to bring you second half action in just a few minutes. Stick with us.
Savitello Panty, no number on the back, no worries, my friend. I'll take it to the house.
Jones trying to break tackles, get to the 5-meter line, take it away. Great steal for Houston, defense Akina. Outside room, by himself. Will he get there? Yes, he will, the dive for 5. Exclamation point.
Two opposing forces, one cannot exist without the other. The push and the pull, the give and the take. This is what gives rise to all things. This is life. This is rugby. What comes easy takes so much hard work. 1 step forward, 3 steps back. 100 setbacks, then, out of nowhere, a breakthrough. This is life. This is rugby. Devour it. Throw your arms around it. Breathe it in and in and in. We are not here to hold back. We are here to brave new paths, to rise up together and become something greater. This is life. This is rugby. This is the rise of rugby. This is Major League Rugby.
How are you?
The big Kiwi with the Scottish last name. Buckley digs it out. Heighton has it. Nice look back inside from Walden. Here comes Kara Pryor. Kara Pryor starting off with a try. Kara Pryor and the somersault for 5.
Trick when these two teams met in round 3. Baker tripped up, gets right back up. Baker gets rid of it. Now they got something brewing here. Banana Schultz runs over a man, takes it in.
And play within your limits. This is what Jared Adams is. This is what we talk about. This is a guy, 255 pounds, he runs like a fullback.
The crowd is into it. He has support. He has one to beat. Can he get there? He's kicking him all the way to the edge. That ball goes wild, but there's more support there, and that try is on a product.
He's in the middle of that, and they've won the penalty. And the short side is open. Bowen's in space. Deshaun Bowen rounds the first tackler, breaks the next one. Can he be stopped? 22 minutes to go. Deshaun Bowen.
McManus didn't like what he saw there. Played it to the near side here into the hands there of Anthony Perry. Wearing 17, one of their props, Akoué. Great play there. Akoué gets it off and into the hands, and it's taken home.
Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it dog like I want it dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been
22 now Smith. Smith eludes one, already has a try, but it's going to be the captain with the brace. Haddock, that may well seal it for Seattle. California for the last man. Here comes Haddock. Haddock across and down. Rickard Haddock.
Haddock coming on a short ball. Nobody sees him, and he's going to dive just short with the offload. And now see what's
Thought it would be Haddock heavily involved in that try.
6 meters out for the Seawolves. And there's your opening by the captain, Haddock. Put it within 4. Haddock looking for a break.
Diaz was pointing toward the sideline. Look at that looping pass over the top. He loves space, doesn't he? Haddock causing havoc.
Stade Toulousain, the most decorated rugby team in the world, is coming to Salt Lake City to face off against the USA national team. It's a game that promises to be filled with passion, grit, and determination. Don't miss out on the chance to witness history in the making. Join us September 17th at America First Field. Get your tickets now at therugbyalliance.com.
That one sits up, so O'Leary's going to deal with it, and he's happy to. He's going for the spiral bomb, and he's got it. Doesn't quite turn over, which is the purpose, but he's got the benefit. On full flight, Oideman, can he get a bounce? Yes, he does! Incredible response. Avery Oideman from Mississauga puts the arrows on the board.
And I think that punt went in Mississauga when he hit it. It was up in the clouds, the swirling wind. Here it is here.
Well, that's a skill that the Aussies try. It's a spiral that spins away. This one didn't quite, but the wind was a mess, miscommunication, and finally a bounce that goes the arrow's way. And look at Oideman, just loving that pop-up he got. Yeah, one, first try.
Again, we mentioned that match down at Nolan. They came away with a 1-point victory, but certainly took it out of them. It may have been a factor those two lost.
We welcome you back here to Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia. It's a Major League Rugby Academy match. Scott Brooker here with the contact coach, Craig Wilson. Take a look at some of the tries in the first half.
Yeah, great work from Colby Marr initially. He's been massive in this game. Just that tap and go there, but I love the tactics heading for the post just because it's really difficult to stop there. But I also like this from Young Glory, just moving the ball to the width, and just Gonzalez here, number 9, just taking his time, noting where the defense is, seeing that the ruck's been cleared out, and he gets over for a beautiful try. It's just wonderful to see with different styles of play. And then Colby Marr, number 2 again, just he threw the ball in, works his way back to the driving ball, turns on those big power plays, and gets the try. So great play all round so far.
Everything to play for here in this second half. Both these teams kind of contrasting styles. We'll talk about in a second. Rugby ATL is in the lead, and they're going to be going from right to left on your screen, kicking off right now. Young Glory, Old Glory DC's Academy team is going to be on your left-hand side, and they're going to start going right away. Tui Vailala, who had a huge run in that first half, takes that ball in, but a penalty with players coming in and not releasing on Tui Vailala. It's going to be an early penalty here for Rugby ATL.
This is one area Rugby ATL Academy has been dominating this game so far. It's the breakdown. Just their jackal work has been excellent. So you can see they've been working on it, and it's not all about just being in the right place at the right time. You've got to be able to have the skill set to get low, particularly from these big guys here, to get nice and low, to get that turnover and give themselves a big opportunity for field position.
going to be their line out inside the 22. See a replacement coming in. Colby Marr maybe off the field as you take a look at Giovanni Duke Smith wearing number 16. Where do they put this one in? Rugby ATL with the put in here, the throw in for Giovanni Duke Smith. Just waiting for a rugby ball to appear somewhere around him, and there it goes. Good opportunity here inside the 22 for this Rugby ATL Academy team. A couple of players coming in. See Knox Burton at the front there. So they get the ball to Jamie Reinhardt. Reinhardt takes it quickly back to the scrum half. Again, winds up in the middle of the field. They've had a little trouble with that connection. Trying to go wide immediately, but getting a little flat-footed. Our Rugby ATL, but a nice break comes in there. Good run from Charlie Alexander. Alexander takes into the contact, but a player coming off their feet. That's Tui Vailala again. A lot of action, but there just kind of comes off his feet, supports the ground, supports himself with his hands on the ground. Penalty here for Rugby ATL.
Yeah, initially it was good from Tui Vailala. He spotted that there was an opportunity to clear the ball out, but in rugby, you've got to make sure you stay on your feet, even if you're clearing out against opposition. And his hands just hit the deck there, and that means he wasn't supporting his own weight. So when we just look back at it, it was a great position. He was right to attack it. Just as we play through, just look how his hands hit the floor. There, he is deemed that he's not holding his weight. Therefore, that's an easy penalty. And fair play to the referee. What a position he was in to make that call.
Yeah, referee Caldwell, good job there. Certainly in the right place. Another line out here for Duke Smith. ATL head towards the middle line out, well taken. It's come down, ball just a bit up in the air. They have to get it down. Bryson Mobley gets a hold of it as they work it back. You see Seiler, the captain, at the back there. So drive just a bit cross field, but opportunity to go forward here. It's gone to the ground, and legally so. Referee says it was taken by Rugby ATL, so everybody's good to go. A little bit of wide pass, nice wrap around there. Let's see if they can find a runner. Have done, but not before the ball bounces. Found that width, gonna have to work it back cross field. Good work by Tui Vailala, making up for some earlier mistakes there. And it forces that turnover. Great work by the young man.
Yeah, absolutely. Where we talked about that ruck just before where he didn't keep his weights, that was an excellent example there. And he's really put himself in great positions to get those turnovers. That time he got his hands on the ball, which he has all rights to, and when he stayed strong, when it was being cleared, when he was being cleared out, he got his penalty. So he's really playing on the edge right now. And that's an excellent bit of work.
Good kick there as we'll take another look at it.
Yeah, you can see in number 13, Tui Vailala, you can just see he's waiting for that opportunity. There's the ball exposure. Just look now how he pounces on it. He gets his hands on the ball. He's nice and low, withstands that clear out. He was first there, so he has all rights to it. And wants a great positioning from the referee. And that's just good rugby all round.
Really having trouble with getting the ball.
And just waiting for a ball. Ball boy strike. Going on with the writer's strike in America.
I'm sure someone's getting a few balls organized there. You see assistant referee Craig Rawlins working hard to get a few balls ready for the next play because these kids want to play.
Young Glory to put this one in. Ball well up there to Brendan Martin, but it comes down to Rugby ATL. Rugby ATL getting driven back. Should be able to clear this one, however, and do. Got the big fella there. Tyler Redmond takes it in. Ball just squirts out, and referee says that's fine, you can take it, but comes back for a knock-on against Young Glory. It's going to be scrum here for Rugby ATL.
So new half, same style of play there for Rugby ATL. They are committed to how they want to play rugby. That was just a big, strong carry, just taking it to the heart of the DC defense. Again, just keeping the pressure. So they really they are sticking to their DNA, which is great to see from the team.
Roman Camarada to put this one in. Number 19. Scrum half spot there for Rugby ATL. Oops, so we're number 20, wrong person. Landon Lockhart Keener. My apologies. First time with these players. Hopefully I'll get to know them throughout their college and further careers. Ball comes wide here. Another flat-footed one, but they found some space out there. See what they can make happen. Big run coming. Referee's going to bring that back, however.
Yeah, he deemed that there was crossing there just enough to shield the player. It didn't look like it was a massive impact on play, but the referee's been making some great calls. So as we all know, the referee has got the whistle. It's their decision what matters. A good call there.
Yeah, looked just a bit tough from here, but the ball well kicked down by that Young Glory team here. So it's going to be their line out. They can get with a converted try and tie it up.
Yeah, so we just look here. You can see, yeah, look, you can see how he kept his eye on that defender there, and he knew what he was doing. It was a bit harsh. He probably didn't need to do it there, but yeah, that's a penalty, and it was a great banana kick there from Downs to get the ball really deep in the ATL half, and this is a big opportunity now.
Just a minute and a half gone in the second half. Young Glory the opportunity to draw a little closer here. Converted try will tie it up. Jackson Scare at the front. Ball goes up, a little messy, but they're going to get it down, and Scare's going to wind up with the ball in his hands. He's at the 5-meter line, but unable to put a maul together, so we're going to have to make it work here. Kieran Downs in the scrum half roll, distributor spot again. Been interchangeable with Gonzalez there. Led to a little bit of slow ball in the first half. They seem to have ironed that one out. Off he comes, gets the ball out, a little move there. Doesn't come through. Nice little hole opens up though. It's wide open there for Kieran Downs, and Kieran Downs is going to touch it down right at the post. Good opportunity to tie this one up.
Yeah, he's looked really, really lively all game, Downs, and it looks like he's moved into the 9 position here. Initially, ATL were really stopping that attack. They were putting a lot of numbers into the breakdown, which is excellent defensively if you're winning the ball. But what happens here is when they start to all target the ball, Downs can see that gap. He's watching what those defenders are doing. Are they engaged? It looks like they're going to go with a fake pass. He sends them all. You can see the hips are all going one way. Downs goes the other way. And that's really great play from Downs. And he has looked very lively all game with running, with kicking, and obviously with his little snipe plays there. So wonderful play there.
Yeah, strong footed 3 players there. Excellent work by Downs as he'll get to try to follow this up for the tying kick. And that one is through. We are all tied up here at Segra Field at 12. A lot of rugby to come. Some adjustments made at halftimes with these teams. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just really impressive stuff. I love how he sells it well with the hand. We're going to go wide, and then he goes for a middle. But that's also fundamentally what DC have been doing all game. They've been moving the ball wide, so that now ATL start to think, right, we're going to start to get numbers out there. He has other plans. So it's like I always call it a physical game of chess. You do some moves here to then strike somewhere else a little bit later, and Downs did that perfectly.
Rugby ATL set to kick off. Forbes Roberts, that left footer, he's had placement on this one each and every time, just inside the 22. This one comes out just a little further. Big hit comes in there. Young Glory inside the 22. Gonzalez looking for space and sees it. Launches one. Great kick inside the 22 of ATL. Ball well taken here. There's some room on the outside if they can make the break. The tackle's going to come, and they're going to drag him to touch there. Excellent work coming across from that Young Glory defense.
Yeah, nice tactical rugby there. So first of all, get the kick off. They really survived a strong line chase there. But then it's all about exiting well, and that was a beautiful kick back deep into the ATL half. And then, mentioned it earlier, kick is only as good as its chase. And Xavier Lee there was brilliant, put a lot of pressure on. I mean, he managed to get him into touch so they can launch their own line out here, DC.
Tipped back by Rugby ATL. Big break coming, and once again, that is Colby Marr. Colby Marr makes his way across midfield to the 40-meter line. Back on the field, they're allowing some subs back in this game. They want to make sure everybody gets a look at here. Someone's going to come in and play that distributor role. Have done. Keeping it tight are the ATL Academy boys. 40-meter line right there, looking across. Where are they going to go now? A little show. Player keeps it in. Another forward punch off to the side. That was Marr again. Good work there from Young Glory. Young Glory rips it away. Ringel having a great game. Every time he's near the ball, he has been effective. Just sitting right there. Frayne has to go in and take that one away. Frayne gets it back. A little kick comes, but bounces off an ATL player. Anybody's ball at this point. It's going to come back ATL way unless it gets ripped away by Young Glory in the middle of this here. The referee in a good spot for that. Good work, ATL, to regather. Offsides penalty here against Young Glory. So free play, ball coming around the back. Out to the wing they go. Can it come and make something out of this? Have not. Still under advantage, Rugby ATL. Now a little mistake creeps in there. Referee Caldwell spots it. He's going to bring it back.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing under advantage there, but I've been really impressed so far. We've been talking about number 2, Colby Marr, for Rugby ATL, but Andrew Ringel, number 2 for Young Glory, he's been excellent as well. He's been brilliant around the ruck, and he's just causing a lot of chaos around there and putting a lot of, well, it just means that ATL have to put a lot of energy into the rucks, which is just brilliant play. So these 2 young men, particularly wearing number 2, have been excellent so far.
Rugby ATL with a kick, puts it down about 30 meters out from the Young Glory line. It'll be their line out. See what they've cooked up here. Ball appears a little quicker this time. See some of the old Glory players who are going to be playing in a couple hours making their way to the field there. Tail comes up to Will Wright. Will play out the back, nicely done. Again, looking to go wide immediately. That one slips forward. Hard luck there for Rugby ATL. We're going to go back here for penalty, however, against Young Glory. Didn't see what it was for.
Yeah, it must if he's positioned there, referee, it must be an offside penalty, which is just something you cannot be doing. You've got to get set up, you've got to get early, and these are really fundamental things you've got to get nailed. We can't be offside at the line out because, as we saw, ATL dropped the ball there, okay? So they would have had an excellent attacking opportunity. But this is why we have these games. This is why the MLR has put a lot of effort into their academy play, so these young players can get a lot of just development opportunities under pressure at a higher level.
Line out just outside the 5-meter line here. Giovanni Duke Smith to put this one in. Marr in a different location in the lineup this time for Rugby ATL, but I would expect the power game to come right back in here for this academy team from Atlanta. So they decide to go. They're going to go to the middle line out there. Ball comes down. Maul initiated. See if they can drive this one over. Getting pushed just off to the right-hand side towards the center of the field. The referee says it's gone the requisite meters, so more people can join. There they go with a big break out the back. That's the captain, Seiler. Seiler gets taken down at the 5-meter line. Go a little wider this time, looking for a runner coming back in. Good handoff coming, but tackle is there. They're looking at the line. Is it going to be held up? Can he get it to the ground? It looks like it'll be held up here. A referee on the spot for that one. Looking to see if he's gotten it to the ground here. Lots of decisions to come and held up. So it's going to be a goal line dropout here for Young Glory. Good work to stave that off.
Yeah, so they opened up a little bit for second pass there from Rugby ATL. And it looked like number 23 nearly tackled him over the line, that momentum, but you can see Old Glory have got a lot of numbers around there. They make sure they're shielding the ball. The ball is held up, so it's going to be a dropout. But these are all really good lessons from DC to learn, because it's all about, it all came from this pressures, all from that penalty. So they'll be looking to try and clear their lines here.
Ball's going off, but it's gone back. Referee says that's fine and wants them to keep playing there. Nice work for Camerata. Into the middle of the field. They've 22. They've got options either way. They're going to go off to this left-hand side. A bunch of their powerful players there. Elijah McFarland comes in and makes a big tackle. He's in the game. We're number 23 for Young Glory. A penalty against Young Glory again for not rolling away.
Yeah, these penalties are going to start adding up, and it just makes sure that the pressure remains on the defensive team. And I think we're going to see a tap and go here.
Yeah, Lockhart Keener just gets that one up and gets it to the double try scorer, Colby Marr. Colby Marr, 7 meters out from the line. Good defense there, but they've come through. A nice slicing run back in. Well held by that Young Glory defense, and penalty against Rugby ATL player not releasing immediately, and here comes Young Glory trying to get it. That's Ringel inside his own 22. Let's see what he can do. Get that ball wide. Does. Ball in the hands here. A little chip forward. It's going to stay in field. Quick change of position there. Good thinking by Ringel. At first, I thought he was getting a bit of a rush of blood to the head, but a lot of gain here for Young Glory so far. They've got some runners out wide to see what they decide to do with this one. Switch it back in. Knock-on creeps in there. So Rugby ATL balls. This game is wide open at the moment. A little messy either way, but we'll see if a dose of athleticism can come out. Not happening, so we're going to come back here for a scrum.
Yeah, well, that's probably the most exciting part of the game we've seen so far, because both teams are really trying to play. They're trying to move that ball. But that man number 2 for Young Glory, Andrew Ringel, it all started with him just powering down the line, getting the ball down to an edge. So then it was Kieran Downs who kicked through. So I've really been impressed with their kicking game. It's put them under pressure, and they had a wonderful opportunity there. And unfortunately, from a Young Glory point of view, it was a knock-on throughout the switch, which we're coming back for. But it was great to see this game open up.
Scrum here for Rugby ATL, just inside their own 22. Halfway in the field, see what they decide to do with this. Have not been afraid to have a run. Very good feet of Forbes Robert if they need it. Lockhart Keener playing scrum half there. They move the ball not quite as deftly as they would like to. That one gets knocked around. Referee says it went back. Rugby ATL going to have to make something out of this one. A little bit of pressure coming on from Young Glory. Balls recycled, but still camped inside their 22 with a pretty strong defensive line looking right at them. Nice ball comes across. Again, might look to clear their lines here. Just put themselves under a little bit of pressure. You see about half their team off to the left-hand side of the screen. But open ground to the outside here. Long way to go, but a nice break across, and a big tackle comes in. Good collision. Young Glory player right over that one. Great work again at the breakdown. That was Kieran Downs. What can he do? He's playing a couple of positions here. Young Glory on the move. Here's Downs. Downs shows a couple. Eventually gets to the ground. Gets the ball up into the hands of Hofi Sake. I've seen him do a lot of the hard work today around the rucks. Rewarded with a carry right there. Another forward comes barreling through for this Young Glory team. Young Glory runners out wide. They've got a pod in the middle of the field. They're going to go for the cross kick. Is the magic going to happen? It is not. But good endeavor there from this Young Glory team. Thought he was wide open.
Yeah, excellent endeavor. I'm going to come back to see if there was a potential advantage there. So that's why he went, because it looked like they had numbers if they were going to keep the ball in. And yeah, so he's under advantage. So Downs there just using all his smarts. It's a shot to nothing to go for the cross-field kick, but so much better there from DC. They added a bit of tempo into the game, and it looks like he's going for it again.
That ball is in the back of the try zone there. Not sure what that will come back with here. Referee, the player actually ended up rounding out of the back of the try zone. It's going to confer with the assistant referee. Let's listen to what they say. 22 dropout here for Rugby ATL. A little mistake there from Young Glory.
Yeah, so Downs, look, it's a great endeavor as well, but it looks like it was just trying to force it a bit too much there. This is wonderful field position to really just grind it out, and the referees landed that it's going to be a 22 dropout to ATL, so big opportunity lost there. Just needed cooler heads, perhaps.
Roberts had a little room for a second there. TK comes in, covers that one up. He has to back up.
ATL, they're looking a bit fatigued right now, aren't they? There's a bit of pressure down on their half, so DC should be reading this and just trying to up the tempo.
Ball comes back for Old Glory into the hands of Reed Gerber. Gerber makes a little pass there. A nice break coming out here. Gonzalez out in that wing. Gonzalez and Downs can do just a little bit of everything in that 9-10 slot. Ball comes across to Elijah McFarland. McFarland works his way across. Looking about 10 meters out there. Ripped away by Rugby ATL. Excellent work. First player in. Great job to turn that one over from McFarland after a powerful run. Now the ball comes back to Forbes Roberts. He's going to kick that one downfield. May not find touch. Does not. It's at the 40-meter line again, picked up by the same player there. Reed Gerber. Gerber looking for somebody to pass to. Throws an interception there. Nice work taken on by Lockhart Keener. Lockhart Keener takes that one into contact. Ball has to be distributed there, and is. A lack of distributor, a couple of points during this game. The 40-meter line they go. Good work by that first player in there. Right on top of him to take that one down. Pressure again from Young Glory, but it's going to come back ATL way. Into middle field, little tip pass. The pressure comes on. Moving this one eventually. It's Giovanni Duke-Smith. That ball hits the ground. Nice little break. Good acceleration out there. ATL players again under pressure from this Young Glory team of the breakdown. And players coming in illegally to try to save that one. It's going to be a penalty against them, Young Glory's ball.
Yeah, special mention to Xavier Lee, number 14. He has been excellent. It hasn't been big highlight reel stuff, but his tackling's been great. His kick chase has been great. He's an aggressive young man. And you can see there, just at that ruck, he was causing a lot of chaos. And it was about his endeavor, his aggression, what managed to put ATL off their strides and allow them to have an opportunity to clear for the kick. Unfortunately, it looks like he just overdid it there, John.
Yeah, ball's bounced in the field of play. The ball's bounced outside of touch and then bounced through the try zone. So we're going to come back here for a scrum for this Rugby ATL team. A mistake there from Young Glory.
Yeah, so it's really important if you're from a Young Glory point of view, when they keep the ball tight in attack, they're not really getting a lot out of it. They're getting turned over, and that is playing into ATL's hand. They want a really tight contest. From a Young Glory point of view, you want to be moving that ball fast. That's when they've looked at their most dangerous. I've got a feeling with the score at 12-12, these last 15 minutes or so are going to be really important when fatigue sets in.
12 and a half minutes to be exactly on the stadium clock here. Have to work there. Rugby ATL trying to work that ball back. Next score is going to be important for anybody. Evan Cram in the back here gets it down to Forbes Roberts. Again, that long pass to a player just a bit still there. One big break or piece of athleticism can make the difference, and will this be it? This is Charlie Alexander working to the outside. Charlie Alexander's across the 22. He's got his opposite number. Can he get to the try zone? He's there. He's in. And try awarded. Huge break, Rugby ATL. Charlie Alexander, welcome to the game. What an impact.
Wow, that was awesome. And it was great to see. I was talking about how ATL really like to keep it tight. And maybe Young Glory just set up a little bit tighter there than they probably would. And then they're just passing the ball, and they weren't really causing many threats there. And what it is, it's one missed tackle. Fair play to Charlie Alexander. It wasn't only the initial acceleration, it's then the sustained speed and a bit of footwork to get on an edge, and then the power to get the ball down. So take a bow, Charlie Alexander. Wonderful play to get the try. Excellent stuff.
Good work at the air to get it down there. Reed Gerber certainly did everything he could to prevent that from Young Glory, but a lead change again here. Rugby ATL. This game is getting into its later moments here at Leesburg, Virginia. Taking the lead.
Yeah, it was really pleasing to see that big line break there, and I think that's going to force Young Glory Academy into really giving it a go to try and get this win.
Left footer, Forbes Roberts. Can't find that one, so it is 5 points in. And as we take another look,
yeah, it just shows your importance of your tackling. And just looking at ATL here, just passing down the line, it's not the smoothest of passing, but sometimes that doesn't matter if you don't make your tackles and you've got an athlete like Charlie Alexander at your disposal. He's going to make sure he finishes, and that's just a wonderful try.
Yeah, it was a great piece of individual skill. The ATL have gone for that wide pass several times, and the player's been kind of getting it on standstill, almost a little behind him at times. It hasn't been that much of a threat, but Alexander is certainly up to the challenge there, as Young Glory will be here set to kick this one off. Ball to the ground, ripped right away by Young Glory. Converted try would win it for the team. There is big Elijah McFarland. McFarland gets in, but that ball slips away. Is it okay? Referee's going to come back. seeing the hand signal here. It's going to slow things down. Be the scrum for the Young Glory team. Just under 10 minutes to go on the stadium clock.
Yeah, big opportunity there. Great kickoff, good pressure, forces the knock on. This is one of the great attacking positions. Scrum, what was that, about 23 meters out, 24 meters out. And DC have looked threatening from their attacks, but it's all about winning this scrum. And ATL are going to be putting big effort in to try and disrupt that momentum.
Referee Caldwell not happy with what he sees. Every second that ticks off the clock right now works in Rugby ATL's favor. Young Glory need this ball in play. We have Mateo Camark, one of the co-captains for the team, moved into number 8, wearing the number 6 jersey. See what they decide to do this one. Probably going to take that one and get it to downs. But a good tackle there by Rugby ATL and a penalty. A knock-on creeps in. Good work around that scrum from that man, Evan Cram.
Yeah, great work, but it all started with the forwards there, particularly the front row from ATL. You've got to get your fundamentals right in rugby. Look at the power from that scrum there. So that means everything has stopped for Young Glory, and then they can put pressure on, they force the turnover, and they give themselves an opportunity to clear their lines. But it just shows you rugby, you can have all the flash stuff, but you've got to get your fundamentals right, and the scrum is one of those key areas that you need to do that.
8 minutes on the game clock. Rugby ATL, a slim lead. Now the pressure comes in from Young Glory. Ball squirts out the back. Referee says that's okay, you can play it. It's going to come back ATL way. Need someone to step in there and have found them. Get the ball to Troutman back in the game. Cram back out there now. Looking again out the back, looking a little wide. Dangerous days playing in your own territory, but referee says offsides against Young Glory. It's going to be ball here to ATL, and would be wise to take their time about this kick.
Yeah, I don't think ATL are going to be in a rush here. They're going to play tactically. But the big thing from Young Glory all day, they've given away a lot of penalties, and it's been a mixture of penalties. It's been at the breakdown, it's been offside, there's been a few different things. So this is just pressure building up. But ATL looks like they've called the scrum because they know they've got the march on them those last few plays. So they're just trying to, one, kill the clock, but also play to their strengths.
Yeah, we've taken a whole minute here. Not really much has happened, so time just wasting away here against Young Glory. So Rugby ATL Academy takes this scrum with that powerful front row. So they decide to do this one. Still in their own zone. Plenty of time here for Young Glory. Need to get a hold of that ball. The referee having a discussion with the front row there. Ball in at the feet of Seiler back there, the captain. Now they move it across to Forbes Roberts, who are actually out in the midfield. Nice little pass, but it goes to hand back into Young Glory. Young Glory opportunity here outside the 22. Have to watch the penalties are this team, and there he is, Andrew Ringel, right on the spot again. Good work by Xavier Lee to come in and clean that up. Right at number 14, Frayne is in the scrum half position here. Frayne again, working his way in, ball alive. Young Glory opportunity here. A few minutes to go in the game. Downs puts a little pass up there. Good break. Tui Vailala takes it to ground. They've got a little momentum here. They've got some runners out on the left-hand side. Is he in behind? Downer gets that pass over. Gonzalez is playing on the wing. Ball back now. Downs in that distributor role. Elijah McFarland's going to take it to the 5-meter line. Things are getting interesting, but ripped right out of the hands there by Rugby ATL. Tremendous work. Player fell on the ground. Donovan Davis, but not penalized, but penalized now. Pretty clear. Even from here, you can see that happening.
Yes, that's actually 3 times. I've really liked how Elijah has been carrying Elijah McFarland's been carrying the ball. It's getting a little bit telegraphed now. He's carried it 3 times to the heart of the ATL defense, and unfortunately 3 times he's been turned over. So this is just where you look back at the film and you come back and he'll be a better player, because you can see the power on the young man, but it's also about the tactics. And DC had a few opportunities there, but their structure's just letting them down. That's probably be to expected because they haven't trained together for too long. But this is why these games are so important. Just as we look back here, the breakdown got a little bit messy. Clearly off his feet, trying to push that ball back. The referee is once again in a wonderful position. You can't play the ball on the floor, and that's just an easy out, and that's just another penalty, which has taken away Young Glory's momentum. And then Rugby ATL was lapping it up. They're enjoying this.
Line out here right at their own 22 for Rugby ATL Academy. They're going to go to the front. Good work to put that back there for Young Glory. Young Glory still the opportunity here. Just under 4 minutes to go on the stadium clock. Big break around the side there from Alofi Sake. Big boy gets himself a little bit of momentum. Frayne comes in into that first receiver spot. Little break to the outside there from Ringel. Ringel certainly active. We've talked about him quite a bit. Ball out to Downs. Downs looks wide with that one. Ball goes down to Gonzalez. Gonzalez going to try to get it done himself. Gonzalez looked like he was tackled there to me, but able to get back up. Gets the ball into the hands of Xavier Lee. Xavier Lee at the 5-meter line. Dog fight coming here between these two teams. They're going to keep this one close. Rugby ATL down, player down, just in a little bit of bother here. So referee's going to stop the game. Play was too close to it.
Yeah, rightly so. You got to stop the play if someone's got it looks like a serious injury. But wonderful play there from Young Glory. You can see how they added the tempo. They really started to, one, put the ruck speed up. Secondly, they're moving the ball to the wider channels, and that was really close. It would have been interesting to see how that would play out. It's going to look like they're going to have a scrum back, but they really went through the gears there. Maybe it might be a little bit too late, but it's really important that these players develop and they look back. And as we just look back, it looks like there's a bit of an injury there. But yeah, good play all round.
Yeah, this player was down there trying to make a little break here, make some inroads, but too close for the referee's liking. A big break they had before just there. Gonzalez might have had a couple more runners there, but really a shifty runner. Thought he had the lane. Good work by ATL to close that down.
Yeah, but both teams are working hard, so credit to the men out, the young men out in the field, and the coaching staff. And remember, this is just the start of the journey for these young men. We'll be announcing games, and these are going to be the stars of the future coming through. So that's why these under-18 MLR Academy matches are absolutely vital, not only to the development of the players, but to USA Rugby as a whole.
Talking to you a little later on, just as we finish up this game, about what's coming up next week on the Rugby Network. Brought to you by Next Level Rugby, is going to be hosted by the New England Three Jacks, a number of teams up there. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Ball in here from Young Glory. Great opportunity for them late in this game. Remember, it's only 5 points. The converted try wins it, and Downer has a hold of it. Downer, is he held up? Downer touches down, and we are knotted up at 17 here. A little run, great line from Taylor Downer, picks his time. Scores for this Young Glory team, and we are tied up. Kick to come.
Wonderful try, but it was all created there for a strong scrum. But Kieran Downs, just watch what he did with the ball. He was pumping the ball, and that's inviting the defenders. And remember, he got that fake away try last time, so they're going to be worried about him. So kudos to the forwards. Big, strong platform, but just watch Downs, watch what he's doing with the ball. Look how he's pumping the ball, and then he accelerates, and that just makes sure the defender bites on him. And then number 15, Taylor Downer, he had a lot to do, but he went through the hole, he powered through and got it down. And a wonderful try there, and just a great example of what Young Glory can do when they have ball in hand.
Yeah, last minute heroics. Yeah, keep this team together a little more, get that fast ruck speed going on. This will be a very exciting team as they continue to build this Young Glory team.
And it looks like here, Kieran Downs is using all his smarts. He's talking to the referee. He's trying to take every single possible second he could, because he wants to kick this over and wants to hear the full-time whistle.
And flags are up. It's a 2-point lead here for Young Glory. Another lead change in this game. Very little time to go. We are nearly over on the stadium clock here. Take another look.
Yeah, it's just that fake pass there, then the acceleration into the hole. That makes the defenders bite on, and Downer has a lot to do. He's got his back to the try line right now, but he's got the upper body strength and the reach to get the ball down and score essentially under the post to make the kick a little bit easier. So it was a big play, big moments in the game.
Minute on the stadium clock. There may be some referees time after that, so game may not be over, but it's back in the hands of Young Glory. Young Glory is going to pump that one downfield. If ATL is going to win this one, they're going to make them work pretty hard for it as that one bounces in a touch. The referee gets there. They're inside the 22, our Rugby ATL. Looks like we certainly have time for this line out.
Yeah.
50-22, excuse me, a line out here for Young Glory.
Well, first of all, it was a big, big kick. What an exit. When you needed your skill set at its absolute highest to pull out a 50-22, absolutely brilliant play. Just kicking that ball down. And when you needed that play, he delivered. And DC have really turned on the style this last 5 minutes.
Boy, what a long raking kick there for that 50-22. Just impressive as the ball goes up into the hands of Sake. He's going to take that one forward, keeping his feet there around the 22. A lot of person to take down. Referee has spotted it. He's taking a scrum here for Rugby ATL. A little mistake there at the lineout.
Yeah, it gives ATL one last chance. As we just look back there, you can see the assistant referee. There's a little bit of wind in the air, so when the ball goes up, they just get their timing a little bit wrong. The line out was not straight, and this has given a Rugby ATL a bit of hope. But they're going to have to go a long way if they're going to pick and go the whole way.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're going to.
I
wonder if they'll move it to Charlie Alexander once again for that big line break. Let's see what they can do.
That would be one of the places I would look here. We'll see where they go. Ball's the back there, taken out, moving across field again, taking it just a little flat-footed. Into the midfield they go. Is the break there? That one is not. Young Glory players on top of that one. Player does a good job to roll away there. That's the 22. They're going to have to make something happen here inside their own 22. Good defense coming in from Young Glory. All they need to do is force one mistake, and that should be it. Big run comes in there from Tyler Redmond. Redmond gains some ground. Off they go. Looking down his left-hand side. Ball hits the ground. Ball down. Can he come around? Working here and has to kick it across field into the hands of these Young Glory players. And they're just going to hoof that one a touch. It looks like Xavier Lee. Xavier Lee kicks it in a touch. A referee looks at it, and referee whistles us for the end of our match. And in a barn burner, Young Glory comes out on top, 20-17 over the Rugby Atlanta Academy. What a game.
Oh, brilliant game. Two great teams, two young sets of young men really going for it, doing USA Rugby proud. Well done to both teams. They're going to come back stronger from this development opportunity. It was brilliant to see a last-minute winner to really keep us on edge. Well done to both teams.
What a game. As you look at Young Glory celebrating there, there's plenty more Major League Rugby Academy matches coming up in the coming weeks. Next week, hosted by the New England Free Jacks. It's going to be the Junior Jacks, Iron Workers from New York, Miami, Utah, and Houston. There, we're bringing you those matches. Going to be at the start of something really good with the MLR Academy teams developing rugby across this great nation. We take a look at some of these plays.
Yeah, we just looked back at a few of the highlights there. ATL was all about their power play, and then DC, so it was a clash of styles, all about moving the ball wider. There's no right or wrong. You play to your own DNA, you play to your own strengths, and this is the beauty of rugby. You can score tries many different ways, and that man Colby Marr was certainly a standout for ATL. And then on the other side of the ball, Kieran Downs, number 10, he was excellent all day. There was a bit of individual brilliance as well from Charlie Alexander, how he just accelerates away. He gets a try, and it looked like ATL were going to hold on for that win. Came down to the last play where Downs really set up Downer at 15, who had a lot to do. Look how his back was to the try line at this stage. And then he scores a try. Great play all round.
Great work by Young Glory to come back and take that one, but a lot of great rugby on offer. And that is it for us here at Segra Field. 7 o'clock, Old Glory is going to take on Rugby ATL, the senior sides for both of these teams. And tune in next week on the Rugby Network, where Next Level Rugby is going to be bringing you that MLR Academy Series hosted by the Free Jacks again, the Junior Jacks, the Iron Workers from New York, Miami, Utah, and Houston going to be in attendance for that one. We'd like to thank the MLR Cardinal staff who has helped us out with this great event and this great broadcast. From everybody here at Next Level Rugby, our cameraman, our technical people, the man with the rugby plan, Ryan Ginty. It's the contact coach, Greg Wilson. I'm John Broker. We'll see you at the next rugby game.
Futi with the hat trick. Ina Futi take a bow, his third of the night.
You can see here, it comes down the blind. AJ sees their space. The wingers have come up, and he's too fast. Great play.
Ina Futi secures the victory on the road for the Seawolves.